Have you ever looked up at the night sky and wondered if we truly alone in this vast universe? For centuries, humanity has been captivated by strange lights and unidentified flying objects, or UFOs. Welcome to Mythos and Beyond. Today, we're diving deep into the mystery, exploring everything from historical accounts to modern-day government acknowledgments. This isn't just about little green men. It's a story of technology, secrecy, and the human quest for answers. Let's start by rewinding the clock. While the term UFO is a 20th century invention, reports of strange aerial phenomena are as old as history itself. Ancient texts and artwork from civilizations across the globe depict bizarre objects in the sky. Think of the mysterious flying shields reportedly seen by Alexander the Great's army in the 4th century BC, or the celestial chariots described in ancient Indian texts like the Mahabharata. In medieval Europe, tapestries and paintings sometimes included disc-shaped objects hovering in the background of religious scenes. Were these artistic license, misinterpretations of natural events like comets, or genuine sightings of something truly unknown? The modern UFO era really kicked off after World War II. In 1947, a private pilot named Kenneth Arnold was flying near Mount Rainier in Washington when he saw 9 crescent-shaped objects flying at incredible speeds. He described their movement as being like a saucer if you skip it across water. A journalist latched onto the phrase, and the term flying saucer was born, capturing the public's imagination and sparking a global phenomenon. Just weeks after Arnold's sighting, something crashed in the desert near Roswell, New Mexico. The local military base initially announced they had recovered a flying disc, a headline that made front-page news. But just 24 hours later, they retracted the statement, claiming it was merely a weather balloon. This sudden reversal fueled decades of suspicion and conspiracy theories. Was it really a weather balloon, or was it something not of this world? The Roswell incident became the bedrock of modern ufology, a puzzle that still fascinates investigators to this day. The 1950s and 60s were the golden age of UFO sightings. With the Cold War in full swing, any unidentified object in the sky was a potential national security threat. This led the U.S. Air Force to launch Project Blue Book, an official study to investigate UFO reports. Over nearly 2 decades, they documented over 12,000 sightings. While they concluded that most cases were misidentifications of known objects like aircraft, stars, or weather phenomena, a persistent fraction 701 cases to be exact remained unidentified. These were the cases that defied easy explanation, often involving credible witnesses like pilots and police officers, and objects that performed maneuvers impossible for any known technology at the time. One of the most compelling types of UFO encounters involves multiple witnesses and physical evidence. A classic example is the Rendlesham Forest incident in the UK in 1980. Over several nights, U.S. Air Force personnel stationed at a British airbase witnessed strange lights descending into a nearby forest. They reported seeing a metallic triangular craft, finding indentations on the ground, and even experiencing physical effects like static electricity. The deputy base commander, Lieutenant Colonel Charles Halt, recorded an audio tape as the events unfolded, documenting their confusion and awe. Despite the high-ranking military witnesses, the official explanation remains inconclusive. Now, let's fast forward to the 21st century. For a long time, the topic of UFOs was relegated to the fringes, dismissed by mainstream science and government, but that has changed dramatically. In 2017, the world was stunned when the New York Times published a bombshell report. It revealed the existence of a secret Pentagon program called the Advanced Aerospace Threat Identification Program, or AATIP. This wasn't some historical project from the 50s. It was a modern, multi-million-dollar effort to investigate military encounters with what the government now calls unidentified aerial phenomena, or UAPs. Along with this revelation came the release of 3 incredible videos, declassified by the Pentagon itself. Filmed by U.S. Navy fighter pilots, these infrared videos codenamed FLIR-1, Gimbal, and Go Fast show objects moving in ways that defy our understanding of physics. In one, an object shaped like a tic-tac accelerates at mind-boggling speeds with no visible means of propulsion. In another, a craft rotates against the wind. The pilots can be heard expressing their disbelief. "Look at that thing, dude." And there's a whole fleet of them. These pilots are some of the most highly trained observers in the world, operating the most advanced sensor equipment on the planet. When they report seeing objects that can outmaneuver their FA-18 Super Hornets, people take notice. Commander David Fravor, one of the pilots from the 2004 Tic Tac incident, has spoken publicly about his encounter. He described the object making erratic movements, mirroring his own jet's maneuvers, before disappearing in an instant. He's adamant. What he saw was not from this world. The conversation has shifted from "Are UFOs real?" to "What are they?" In June 2021, the Office of the Director of National Intelligence released a preliminary assessment on UAPs. The report analyzed 144 incidents reported by military personnel between 2004 and 2021. It confirmed that these objects are real and physical. While it couldn't explain most of them, it stated they clearly pose a flight safety issue and may pose a challenge to U.S. national security. The report offered several potential explanations, from airborne clutter and natural atmospheric phenomena to advanced technologies from adversaries like Russia or China. But it also included a category for other, a placeholder for the truly unknown. This official acknowledgement has opened the floodgates. NASA is now conducting its own independent study on UAPs, using unclassified data to try and shed scientific light on the phenomenon. Congress has held public hearings, grilling top intelligence officials about what they know. The stigma that once surrounded the topic is finally beginning to fade. Scientists, pilots, and politicians are now openly discussing possibilities that were once unthinkable. So, what could these UAPs be? Let's explore the leading theories. One possibility is that they are super advanced drones or aircraft developed in secret by a foreign power. This is the adversarial technology theory. While plausible for some cases, it struggles to explain sightings from decades ago or objects that exhibit capabilities far beyond what we believe is currently possible, like transmedium travel, the ability to move seamlessly between air and water. Another theory points to natural phenomena. Unusual weather events, plasma balls, or even flocks of birds can sometimes be mistaken for something more exotic. This certainly explains many sightings, but it falls short when confronted with cases involving structured craft observed on multiple sensor systems, like radar and infrared, simultaneously. And then, there's the most profound and tantalizing possibility of all, the extraterrestrial hypothesis. This is the idea that some UAPs are spacecraft from other worlds, piloted by intelligent, non-human beings. For many, this is the most logical explanation for objects that defy the laws of physics as we know them. Could we be witnessing visitors from another civilization, observing us from a distance? The implications are staggering. It would fundamentally change our place in the cosmos and force us to rethink everything we know about science, religion, and humanity itself. There are other, more out-there theories as well. Some speculate about interdimensional beings, time travelers from our own future, or even a breakaway human civilization with incredibly advanced technology. Right now, we simply don't have enough data to say for sure. The search for answers continues, now more openly than ever before. Independent research groups are using sophisticated skywatching equipment to gather new data, while journalists and former government insiders continue to push for more transparency. The key is to approach the subject with an open mind, but also with scientific rigor. We need to move beyond blurry photos and anecdotal tales and focus on high-quality, verifiable data. The UAP story is no longer a fringe conspiracy. It's a genuine national security concern and a profound scientific mystery. We are living in a time when the government admits there are things in our skies that we cannot identify and cannot explain. Whatever the final answer may be, whether it's advanced human tech, a natural phenomenon we don't yet understand, or something truly out of this world, the journey to find out is one of the most exciting scientific quests of our time. The truth is out there, and for the first time, it feels like we're getting closer to finding it. Thank you so much for joining me on this exploration of the UAP mystery. What do you think is going on in our skies? Let me know your theories in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this deep dive, don't forget to subscribe and hit that notification bell so you won't miss our next adventure into the unknown. See you next time.